rash players that are going to kind of stand up and scream in your face. They're the kind of players that are just going to, you know, fist bump either side, well done, next game. And I think that's what's working for them. He said it himself. It's working for us so far. We're going to stay calm.
Fair enough. Well, without further ado, it's time to kick off OpTic Gaming versus FaZe Clan. Over to our casters.
Thank you so much, Benson. Atlanta, chug that G Fuel. It's time to get hyped, baby. This is an epic match, one that a lot of people expected to see maybe in the grand finals of the tournament, but no, these two teams are playing for just top 4 now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about that. You know, they match up in Vegas, FaZe comes out on top in this one, and this event's been kind of weird for both sides. You know, OpTic, they lose early, they go down, they have a very tough match against Panda, which, I mean, we're watching some of the back with the players, like Panda, like taking OpTic to game 5. They played them really tough. And the one thing I think Momo hit on the desk is that, you know, OpTic has not looked good in their hard points thus far. They lose 3 total to Panda this weekend. You know, the 1 in the pool and then the 2 today. They need to be much better than that against FaZe.
Well, we're opening up, of course, with a Hardpoint game number 1. You'll also see it in game number 4 if we get there. A little bit of history, though, Matt. Looking at this matchup in particular with these exact rosters, FaZe Clan has never lost to OpTic Gaming. They didn't play each other all last year in Black Ops 3, but they already have a win in IW.
Yeah, I mean, just think about how long that streak has gone on for, like all the way from Advanced Warfare through Black Ops 3 and now into Infinite Warfare. This FaZe roster has not lost to OpTic Gaming on LAN. Speaking of Clay, they can't beat them online, so it kind of goes the other way online. But you got to imagine FaZe, they have a ton of confidence going into this one. Though OpTic Gaming, they can get fired up after that last win against Panda, kind of carry that momentum into this match.
And you saw Scump, you heard from the analyst desk, they were talking about Scump just shaking with energy after that last win, the round 11 clutch from Karma. Is it gonna be enough to light the fires here on the main stage? We're about to find out. 25 seconds away from kicking off this game. Atlanta, are you ready? That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, they sound like they're ready. And I think, look, for OpTic Gaming, I think it's no secret. The keys for them to win are going to be Crim6 and Karma. You expect to see very good games from Formal and Scump. You need one of those 2 players to show up big in this matchup.
And I do want to point something out. As soon as you see this game kick off, take a look at Crim6's clan tag here. He's going back to the old school Crimbot, throwing in some EG.
And look, I feel like, you know, Crim just needs to play a little bit more selfish. I mean, he just opens up so many things for the rest of his team, but when he's at his best, I mean, he is making those crazy individual plays, and you see right off the rip, he's gonna pick up 2.
Crim6 maybe playing a little bit of mental games with Clayster on the other side. The 2 captains trying to get in each other's head. You know, technically Scump, he's the old man on this OpTic squad, but really Crim, he has been the leader for this team, opening things up 2-1. Scump on your screen, though, he is probably the most dynamic, the most devastating player if he can get rolling early on.
And it's going to be a tough game 1 for FaZe because obviously OpTic coming off the momentum of that previous match. You know, FaZe, they're in the back, they're watching, they're trying to get warmed up. You just can't replicate that same kind of game mentality when you're trying to warm up here in the back as opposed to having a major match on a side station. And at the break here, it's going to be OpTic getting a little bit of a lead, Chris. And I think what's important is FaZe keeps this game manageable until they start to heat up.
Scump and Formal picking up 2 big kills. You take a look at your mini map, and the rotation definitely going to go in favor of OpTic Gaming. It's going to be FaZe trying to break through. Clayster's going to go on the long flank while his 3 teammates are set to make a hit from the top.
Yeah, the teammates are going to try and force the players in cell block out onto that platform, and Clay was going to pick him up, but he's going to fall. Just a really slow push here coming in from FaZe Clan. They know they have to get a pinch going, and Abel's going to pick up 1 there. Going to throw a grenade, pre-aim a corner, but still, I mean, just not a ton of pressure from FaZe Clan coming in right now. OpTic racking up a ton of time.
OpTic has struggled in the hard points against teams that hit with all 4 at a time. That's what you saw from Panda over and over again. FaZe, they play hardpoint a little bit differently, trying to set up some flanks, trying to get all the angles covered. And OpTic Gaming, their setup so far, handling it very well.
You know, after the FaZe loss, I just saw it at E United. I talked with some of their guys, and I was like, look, like the way you guys played in that game 5, you guys played scared. You guys played slow. Like, you can't play like that, and they know this. And they're coming out at the beginning here and looking really flat. No aggression coming out from the side of FaZe Clan. Not a good sign to see.
12-3.
Good sign to see.
12-3 are Scump and Crim6 combined. Scump gonna fall there, but Zuma and Attach gonna try and push forward here for FaZe. They're set up early in this graveyard. This is where we've seen a lot of teams just gather a full 60 at times. FaZe, they need a full 60 just to get back in this.
I mean, for as bad of a start it's been for FaZe, I mean, they take a ton of time here. They're right back in it within, 10, 15 points. And OpTic Gaming does not have streaks to use on this hard point. That's the one thing you can use to break this once the other team gets set up.
Enable with a two-piece from range, looking over Attach, who has this K-bar ready to roll. And the NV4, so devastating when you put it in this man's hands. Enable hitting 4 shots, but unable to finish the kill. Now he's gonna get poked out of the sky. It's Karma once again. Captain Clutch is gonna get 3 kills, and they will break through. FaZe no longer scoring. OpTic extending their lead to about 60 points at the end of this hill, and it looks like they should be able to push here on the commissary.
Well, no, they have one player in the back for FaZe. That's going to be Clayster. He needs to pick up some big kills. He grabs one on Clayster, picks up a big one, but you do see Karma pinching on him. The hill going to get in control of OpTic Gaming.
Zuma with a nice kill there. Enable as well in the feed. Scump gonna make sure that they are gonna have the outside perimeter, but it's Zuma controlling the spawns, puts FaZe in the better position. They're inside early. OpTic all going along the wall run. One at a time, they're gonna be jumping in. Smoke's coming out here.
Now you're going to see OpTic Gaming keep running over that wall run. That's the only way they can get back towards the hard point, and they break it. And I was actually going to say I was a little bit nervous for OpTic Gaming there because with how poorly FaZe has played, you got to put this team away. We know they're capable of making runs. They're letting them just kind of hang around a bit, but now OpTic Gaming taking the rest of this time, building a big lead.
115 to just 52 from FaZe. As we're about to rotate once again, you see Scump setting up with Crim6 in the middle of the map. Karma, uncontested, is going to pick up every last second of scrap time in the commissary. And Attach trying to get something going. He's 6-9. Clayster, your leader, 6-10. Off to very slow starts. And Zuma, even he's negative at this point. And this is a guy who is normally one that could just get things going in your first 3 minutes, really set the tone for the squad.
Yeah, it is not good. I mean, through the first rotation of hard points, nobody on FaZe even has above 10 kills. I mean, you're just not going to be in games when you play like that, especially against a firepower team, you know, a team with such slay-heavy potential like OpTic.
Karma showing you why it's so difficult to get him outside of the hard point. He's throwing down smokes, covering himself very well already with 1:03 of hill time. Formal, 1:13 leads everybody in the lobby, and the highest you got over on the FaZe side, just 30 seconds. They haven't been able to control these hard points, but for now, you have Enable in that hill. We'll see if FaZe can gather a bit of time. The big rotation coming through. Formal all alone is going to have his hands full.
Yeah, he's got Clayster in the back as well. And Formal just needs to play his life, stay alive. The same way we saw FaZe try and pinch, you're going to see the same thing OpTic try and do here. 1 kill would be huge for Formal. I think he knows exactly where this player is.
Call out comes in, Zuma executed. Now the second player going to be challenging from the mid. Scump on the back flank is going to pick up one. Karma is there as well. So it's going to be OpTic Gaming collapsing once again. Formal just playing this one so slow, and it's paying dividends.
Yeah, Formal just staying alive in the back opens things up for the rest of his team. Just needs to pick up 1 kill, and then everyone starts to rotate around for FaZe, trying to pick up different angles. The rest of OpTic just floods in.
OpTic Gaming playing with all new energy here in Hardpoint. FaZe does not have an answer up to this point. No one positive at this point. You only have Enable at 12-12. Who is going to be the player to start the momentum?
It's going to be tough even getting momentum, Chris, to be quite frank. I mean, you just see the kills piling up in OpTic Gaming's favor here. You got Formal on a 5 streak, working towards some score streaks as well. He gets those. This Grave Hardpoint's going to go to OpTic Gaming's favor. And then, look, you're looking at like a 230, 81. Maybe FaZe gets over 100 here, and that would be very difficult for them to come back from.
Scarab got absolutely nothing done. Informal will collect his 6th kill, though, for OpTic Gaming. He's been alive for a full 90 seconds. I've been keeping my eye on him on the mini-map. He survived throughout the entire cell block. Now he's on the flank. He's the man running along the perimeter. His teammates are going to be the first players into action. Formal staying alive, knowing how important streaks could be at the end of this game. But already, this one looking pretty one-sided for game number 1. 204 and counting to just 90.
I mean, just look at everywhere for the FaZe guys are playing from. I mean, they're spawning all over the map. They're just pushing in one by one. Not good for the first game for FaZe Clan, as you see Scump inside the hardpoint just dancing around, going to take the rest of this time. FaZe going to try and rotate here. I mean, I guess you can go over to commissary, but even if you get a full 60 there, Chris, what does it really do for you? You're down by so much still.
Last time I looked at Zuma, he was 8-10. Since then, he was 11-18. Does pick up his 12th and 13th kill, but really, he has been shut down in this game. You look at Attach, he's had moments where he's able to pick up 1-2 kills, but never more than 3. Scump on a 5 spree is looking to close this one out. 231 to 100. FaZe Clan trying to get out of the 100-point club. but OpTic Gaming could shut it down on this hill. They only need 14 more.
Yeah, and Scum's got those full streaks as well. He's got one player coming around the back. Nice gunfight there for Attach, but see FaZe, I mean, at this moment in time, they just have to resort to flying towards the hard point. You're not going to be able to break this commissary.
And FaZe fighting for control. They're going to lose the battle. It's Crim6 surviving the attack from 2. Make it 3 players. 250 to 100.
That looks like a completely different OpTic Gaming team than we've seen all weekend long. I mean, look, they're beating up on some teams in pool play. Great. Doesn't really do anything for me. You got to beat the big dogs. They come in here with a big performance in game 1.
And you can see the energy that OpTic is playing with now. They're a bit sluggish last night, a little bit tired on Saturday. Here on Sunday, they know what's on the line. And what I love about this matchup, Matt, is it has huge implications on our global pro point standings here in North America. Based on the current tournament results, FaZe Clan has moved up to number 2. OpTic Gaming is right behind them at number 3. E-United has taken the top spot. But whoever wins this is going to secure the 2nd place in North America overall in Pro Point.
And E-United looks good to hold down one of those top positions. I mean, I think it's kind of gotten lost in everything going on here. All the craziness. They're the only team that has not lost a match yet through pools and the bracket. So E-United looking like a very strong team, deserving in that number 1 spot if they get it. But Chris, this was just a blowout from the opening get-go. And I think a lot of it kind of attributes to, you know, the energy that OpTic came and brought into this one. But also you saw Crim play very well.
I mean, Scump, he started off, what, 6-1? He got off to the hot start for the team. You saw Crim6 turning up as well. Karma, he played so smart inside these hard points, but really where I think the wheels fell off for FaZe is when Formal on that back cell block rotation. He got behind enemy lines, he got the key kills, helped his team secure those spawns, and where FaZe was hoping to come back in this game, Formal just slammed the door in their face.
Yeah, and going into the search and destroy, it's obviously going to be a huge map in general, but I'm just kind of thinking, like, you know, who would this be a bigger loss for, you know, coming out of this? I think it potentially could be FaZe Clan. We can take a look at the box score here, and then I'll explain why, but you can see OpTic Gaming did a tremendous job over by Cell Block, taking an extended period there. Grave as well. That's where the game was decided.
Great stuff from OpTic Gaming in game number 1, but this is a best of 5, 3 different game modes. Coming up next, we're going to see Search and Destroy. And give me the breakdown. Why do you think FaZe might have an opportunity to tie things up now?
Oh, well, look, I think they're going to go back to that aggressive search and destroy play that they were so successful earlier in the tournament. They did not bring that against E-United. So I expect them to be a little bit faster, up and OpTic Gaming's face. It plays to Zuma's attached playstyle.
Hey, last time we saw Clayster here on the main stage, how many kills did he drop in that game 5?
Oh, I mean, it was like 14 or 15, but it's still a loss. I mean, a loss is a loss. I mean, you saw a big play by Gunless in a 1v3 with Camo. That really kind of solidified the game for E-United. They got streaks off of that. Spoke with the FaZe guys. They did not realize that he had all of those streaks. That's why you saw some of the plays over towards B on that map.
So FaZe Clan, they lost their last S&D. That was against E-United, though, in the winners bracket. Looking for a bit of redemption here against OpTic Gaming, trying to tie things up before we get to Uplink. Your map, it's going to be scorched. The action is going to be up close and personal. Will we see any sniper rifles? We saw Formal with the highlight from yesterday.
Yeah, I think maybe he brings it out. I mean, the way he's shooting today, I would let him do whatever the hell he wanted. I mean, he want to use whatever gun he wants to. I just let him go. I mean, he has been lights out all tournament long. I do think, you know, OpTic Gaming, their search and destroy. It's something they've worked on from Vegas to now. It's very good. FaZe Clan, their search and destroy, they feel very confident as well. So I think it's going to be a very close game.
Formal's going to be going with the overdrive versus Attach's FTL jump. Other than that, we got a mirror match.
I mean, we haven't seen great uses of FTL jump. We haven't seen overdrive really make a huge impact. I think overdrive, I know it's something that they've used last year, something they're a little bit more familiar with, as opposed to just throwing an FTL jump. Nobody really knows how to use that yet.
So there is your rig draft. Also keep an eye on Zuma. Is he going to be able to slam the ground there with the shockwave? On the other side, using the reactive armor will be Scump. We've seen what he can do when he pops that payload. But the active camo, that's basically going to be your game winner if it gets to the late rounds. We've seen a guy like Clayster be able to get 2 camos in the same S&D game.
I mean, it's huge. I mean, camo is just such a powerful ability. I mean, we talk about it in Uplink, really in all game modes. I mean, we see it in Hardpoint. You could pop camo, get inside of a hardpoint, break it with these search and destroy, you know, 1v2, 1v3 situations. You're able to just use that camo ability and make, you know, hero plays for your team, just swing momentum in games. So I look to see who can get camo more.
I can't wait, Matt. I know exactly where this bomb is going, and we are going to see a big boy toy in the hands of Clayster. He is pulling out the sniper rifle, but we'll see. Is he able to shut down OpTic Gaming the way Formal was on the attacks for OpTic yesterday? I can't wait, man. Here we go. It's time. Clayster on your screen, pistol in hand, the bomb. It's moving to the top, and we're going to see Clay look for an opening pick here on the bridge.
Yeah, and I love this decision by FaZe Clan. Yeah, I talked about in the match against the United, they were not aggressive. You see, they're using aggression over towards A. Attach goes in alone. They need to have another player there to at least trade that out. Zuma gets there a little bit late. Now the man advantage, OpTic Gaming.
And Clayster's getting tagged up. Formal long range picks up his second kill of your opening round. Make it 3. Formal going for the ace, and there's the full flood. FaZe gets shut down.
I tell you what, man, this is not the gaming team I would not want to play right now. And then, let's say, they go on and pass this FaZe team. That is such a mental hurdle just gotten over for this team. It's been a year and a half in the making where they have not been able to take down this FaZe Clan team. They beat them. I imagine these guys are on cloud 9. No, sky's the limit for them.
OpTic Gaming cruising through game number 1. Off to a nice start on defense, but the tough thing here in IW is getting the bomb down. Karma is going to be making his way over to the B bomb site, dodging grenades as he moves forward, and it's already Crim6 picking up first blood. Formal's going to eliminate Zuma. 4-on-2 already.
You see Clay just trying to play his life here, waiting for the bomb to potentially go down. Then gonna spring out of action, try and make a play, but just look at the minimap. All the arrows just converging on him. Scump just walks right in.
He just opened Clay's mouth and shoved a K-bar in it.
Yeah, that was not good. Enable's going to get taken out towards the mid. You have OpTic Gaming taking the first 2 rounds.
High fives all around. Karma talking with the team. You hear Formal making the calls for the next round. It's OpTic back on defense. Last time we saw a pretty slow hit from FaZe as they tried to attack the top of the map. It simply did not work with the sniper in Clayster's hand. What strategy will they go with now? It looks like Clay, he's going to put away the ERAD in favor of an NV4. Attach on your screen with a K-bar, and Enable will be your bomb carrier.
Yeah, it seems like the way they're playing this, at least at the early outset, they're going to try and get a pick here towards the mid. Maybe get one of the OpTic Gaming players playing a little bit out of position here, but Zuma gonna fight that gunfight in the middle of the map, and Crim with yet another first blood. Back-to-back rounds, we've seen Crim draw first blood, starting things out 4-0.
Attached, not gonna get anything. It's Scump shooting him out of the sky. 3-on-2, OpTic with the advantage, Clayster and Enable. Still up for FaZe, and it's Clay on the flank. Gonna find one, outguns him this time around. Scump has been eliminated.
He stays alive. That is the key here. He is behind enemy lines potentially for the OpTic Gaming squad. He has one more guy towards the middle of the map. Crim wins that one. And this is the best first 2 maps I've seen Crim play in a very long time. Chris starting out 5-0 here in the search. He was very good in the Hardpoint. OpTic Gaming 3-0.
And that is 2 players 5-0. 10-0 between Formal and Crim6. A perfect start to score. You see Formal pointing over. That's right, Crim, set the tone, baby.
I mean, those 2 guys are really how this roster kind of formed. I mean, if you remember towards the end of Advanced Warfare, EG's breaking up. Crim and Formal want a team with each other. They try and go to NV. Things do not work out there. They find themselves on OpTic Gaming, obviously, with Scump. They have Nade Shot at the time. They swap him out for Karma, eventually forms this just dynamic roster.
OpTic Gaming has every single trophy in their trophy case outside of the Call of Duty World Championship. Will they be able to add a Vegas trophy? So far, they're looking good here on Championship Sunday after a rough start to the weekend. Atlanta trophy, excuse me, Matt. I'm looking at the mini-map, and you can see the rotation is going through after flanking over at B. They spotted FaZe Clan, and now a full rotation to the top of the map. They're going for A.
Yeah, it was a smart play by OpTic. They show a little bit over by B. They get some vision. They see the FaZe Clan defense being so strong over on that site. They rotate all the way around. It's a 4v4 with bomb down over at A. It's going to be difficult for FaZe to break in.
Formal's going to tag up Attach, but Zuma cleans up Crim. The slam coming down, not going to land on anything. Enable and Zuma in the feed, and Clayster will finish off round number 4. FaZe Clan is on the board, and you hear the FaZe fans out here in Atlanta making some noise. FaZe needs them right now. They got to turn this series around.
Yeah, and the big thing that let them break in there was Formal's watching that door with an NV4. The first player slides in. He's able to take out 1, but that first player that slid in is able to pick up 2 kills there. Just evens the man count. Throws it in FaZe's favor. Then they just flood right into the site, and they're able to take out the rest.
Nice team shot for the final kill. Your score 3-1 after 4 rounds here in game number 2. If you're just joining us, this is a battle for top 4 in Atlanta. A huge impact on our global pro point system. The top 9 North American teams will be moving on to stage 1, and OpTic and FaZe are fighting for the number 2 spot overall. You got Zuma on your screen doing some damage early against Karma. The kills are traded out. Zuma looking for a second, and there's a defender right on the other side of this wall.
Yeah, he's going to be able to take him out. It's going to be Zuma working on streaks. He's going to earn that Scarab, and the rest of his team falls. We're going to get down to a one-on-one, Crim versus Zuma.
And this is for the ace for Zuma. He's already picked up the first 3 kills. The last man alive, though, it's Crim6, who only has 1 death all game long. Zuma spots him. Crim is there, and Zuma's going to get the ace. FaZe is right back in it.
It's a risky gunfight for Crim to challenge there. I mean, Zuma has him, pinned, pre-aimed at the doorway right here. He's really relying on Zuma, missing some shots there. Pretty easy gunfight for Zuma to win towards the end. Picks up the ace. Zuma trying to keep FaZe in this game, now only down 1 round.
Keep your eyes on that man. Kid Big Tommy, keep it rolling. Is he gonna get the payload out? Crim6 on your screen. 6 and 2. Attached with the donut so far in this game, Matt, but doesn't seem to matter. He's been kind of playing that role where he's the distraction, allowing his teammates to search forward. Karma on your screen, looking for an early pick. He's your bomb carrier. Streak's coming down. No kills, but that is going to clear out everybody from FaZe.
Karma in a great spot here. They have no idea where he was. The Streak's backup placer. He's not able to get any visions. Scump follows that up with a kill on Zuma. It's then going to be Enable. Taking him out, though, you're going to see if Attach and Enable can make this play. Bomb is going to go down. They're going to get real close to Enable. Not going to be able to pick it up, and Attach picks up 2 quick kills, Chris.
We talked about the donut. Donut no more. 2 straight kills, but he needs a 3rd. Karma the last man standing. Karma, of course, clutching up the 1v1 to get here. It was round 11 versus Panda. This time, Attach is going to poke him in the back. Plenty of time to get the defuse.
He didn't shoot at him for the first second. I was like, does he see him? Attach picks it up, though. Comes up huge in a big round where he was not playing at his best. And we are all tied up at 3 rounds apiece. Attach going to earn a Scarab there as well.
Clayster back in this series. You saw him standing up, yelling to the crowd, trying to get his team motivated. It was looking ugly early on. And now I want to see, how does OpTic Gaming react? You allowed FaZe right back in this game. Will they crumble, or will they push back stronger than ever? Look at Formal. He is going to be the player with the payload on the other side. Keep your eyes on this man. Zuma with the reactive armor can do so much damage.
And you just knew eventually the aggression would pay off for FaZe Clan, and you see Attach going to draw first blood. The kills quickly traded out over by B. And Zuma coming on this flank has both players right in his line of sight, going to be able to melee the second. Fantastic flank there by Zuma, as FaZe has now gone up 4-3.
How's my gun taste, baby? Let's take a look at it one more time. The reaction time, just incredible from Zuma as he lays out his opponent. FaZe has won 4 straight rounds. They have now taken control of game 2.
In such a fast game, you kind of look back at what Zuma was in Advanced Warfare. Obviously, towards the end of the year, it was up for debate. Scump, Zuma, Attach, best player at that moment in time. Zuma looks like he's getting back into form.
Formal on your screen. Overdrive available. Will not be using that quite yet, but the score streak comes out. He's going to be scouting the B bomb site with the Scarab. Not going to find anything. As you see on your mini-map, it's Attached, and the rest of FaZe Clan going for the long flank. They've been spotted, though, and Crim6 is going to be the first line of defense here.
Yeah, I don't think OpTic knows how many players are on this flank, though. As they take out Enable, now they realize that there's more than one. They're going to take out Attach as well. You see Crim and Co going on the hunt here towards the back of their spawn. It's going to be just Zuma, the last one alive. It's actually going to be Clay. He takes out 1 as Zuma falls. Clay in a 1v2.
Bomb should be going down any moment here, and you're going to see that happen exactly. It's the plant going down. Karma backing up safely. He'll be watching the back door while you have Formal watching the front, overlooking that bomb. Clayster, they have no idea where he's located.
And he's going to pick up the K-bar, obviously. Needs that in the close quarter situation versus the NV4, and does not have any vision on any of these players.
Did he see Formal in the window? I think he might have spotted a shoulder, Matt. And now he's got the first gunfight. Tagged up, though. Time running out. 17 seconds. He's got a little bit of wiggle room here, but Karma is so smart in these 1v1s. Backs up, shoots Clay in the back, and ties this game up.
It's Karma that winning a huge 1v1 against Panda that got him here. Karma wins a big 1v1 against Clay. But you kind of felt all the momentum in the game switching over towards FaZe Clan. Karma puts a stop to that, ties the game back up.
It all kind of started with Crim6, that first blood. He knew the flank was coming, won an up-close fight, called out the location of the others, and it was OpTic with the man advantage, securing round number 8. Here we go, round 9 though. It's FaZe Clan back on the attack. All of the action has been at B the last 4 rounds, and here it is once again.
And I think with the ERAD in hand, you're trying to get attached, pushed up over towards bomb, maybe an observation. That's where he can really be a nuisance.
Camo available for Karma. Attach has that FTL jump available. 3 players pushing though. Karma is going to be eliminated. Scump answering back, and it's Zuma with the return kill. So now 3 on 2. It's going to be Crim6 and Formal left alive. Formal, will he be able to get this next pick? He's looking at every corner. Did spot a player in that window.
He sees one, but does not know if there's a player back here watching the flank. So needs to be very cautious. Not a situation you can see overdrive used yet. Maybe you get into a one-on-one, you're searching for the other player, you know where he is. Just general location. Maybe you see that ability used, but Formal trying to push up on the bomb, trying to draw some of the players out from FaZe.
And shots are fired. He has given up. Clayster able to get the first pick. Crim trades it out, but there are just too many FaZe members. And FaZe, after starting down 0-3, are now on game point, trying to tie up this best-of-5 series at 1 apiece.
With OpTic Gaming's strong performance in Hardpoint, and then the great start to the Search and Destroy, this would be a real bad map to lose. I think you kind of let FaZe get some momentum, get some hype back into the game. You kind of lose a lot of the steam that you had coming into this one. Be a bad loss for OpTic.
OpTic trying to force yet another round 11. How many of these have we seen from the green wall this weekend? Scump and Clayster trading out immediately. Karma picks up the second kill though, so advantage OpTic. Smokes are down from Karma. Crim6 through the smoke finds Enable, and the last kill goes down. Round 11, baby.
The really fast round as OpTic pushes all the way into observation. They clear out the bomb site. The last 2 members of FaZe, they have to at least acknowledge that the bomb may go down. They try and check it. They get taken out quick.
Atlanta, are you enjoying this game? Where are the FaZe fans at? Who's cheering for OpTic Gaming? It's time to find out who is going to take game number 2. Action kicking off right now. Attached with an FTL jump. Enable so close to his payload as well. On the other side, look out for the camo. It looks like Karma has already used it. It's going to be Formal just with an overdrive.
And I believe Karma used it to push up there, so we'll see any of these abilities come into play. Karma's going to draw first blood there, taking out Zuma. It's going to be Enable falling as well. Quickly, we're in a 1v1 situation. It's going to be Clay going up against Crim.
And Clay has the huge advantage. Clearly on your screen, you can see what's happening, but that camo has burned out. The gun change, the jammer hits, but it doesn't matter. 6-5, Clayster clutched it up, and it's FaZe Clan tying this one up at 1 apiece.
Former teammates going at it in a one-on-one.
Clay tried to get in Crim's head earlier in the series. This time, gets the better of him. It's a battle of mental games, and that time around, it was just Clay with the better positioning. Tough spot for Crim to be in.
It's a huge map for FaZe Clan. I feel like if they lose that one, this is a series that could potentially go 3-0 in OpTic Gaming's favor, but that's a huge map for them to come back. Clay to win that 1v1 at the end. You look now, going into Uplink. Uplink is obviously our swing game, our game number 3, but you can put up some pretty big score lines here. I think, you know, the first half of this game is going to be massive.
Get on your phone, get on Twitter, tell your friends, we are live. This is the CWL Atlanta Open. We are live here in the big convention center. We have a sold-out crowd, and boy, have we seen some highlights. Let's take a look at some of the biggest plays here of game number 2. It all started, OpTic Gaming steamrolling your first 3 rounds. FaZe just being shut down until about round 4. That's when they started to turn up, and it was on the back of Zuma.
Yeah, Zuma and Attach just being so aggressive. You know, obviously when you make these aggressive play calls, sometimes you're just going to get hard countered by the other team, right? They're going to flood a bomb site. You're not going to expect it. But I like how FaZe stayed true to themselves, right? You know, they stayed with the aggressive play. If we're going to lose, we're going to lose the way we want to go out. And it ends up working out for them. You know, the aggressive play you see right here, Zuma's able to pick up 2 towards the end of that round, put them up 4-3. They let OpTic take it all the way to around 11, Chris, but that one-on-one against Clay at the end, he's able to come on top, and Crim falls.
Love it or hate it, Matt. I say it a lot, and most of the time I'm right. I have a feeling this one is another. It's another one. How many Game 5s have we seen today?
We saw the Panda OpTic go to Game 5, FaZe United go to Game 5. That's 2 off the top of my head. There's so many games here in Atlanta. I have not been able to catch them all.
Oh, it's happening again. I'm just calling it now. Wait for it.
I can't see that, to be quite honest with you. I think whoever wins this uplink probably takes the hard point, ends it in 4.
Uplink, your swing game, as always. The only time it shows up in your best of 5, game number 3. And this is going to be a big one. We're on Throwback. And this is a favorite map for a lot of the pro players. You ask them, what is your preferred uplink? They said Throwback, probably the most fair, the one that we're most comfortable on. It's pretty basic. Break it down for us. What is the strategy that we're going to see going into this?
Well, this is a lower scoring uplink game, a lot like how we see on Frost. It's not something like Precinct where you can really spawn trap people. With the adjustments of the 1 goal over by Lime, you're not going to be able to see some easy 1-point throws over there. But I think if you can get the drone towards that bike path, bring it down that side, go over towards that baseball goal, that's where you can get a lot of 2-point plays.
We got to keep our eyes on 2 players. Let's take a look at our G Fuel key player matchup when it comes to Uplink. We have Formal with a 1.22 Uplink kill-to-death ratio so far throughout this tournament. On the other side, Zuma topping the leaderboard in so many categories, a 1.422, also getting involved with some dunks.
Yeah, it's like I was looking over towards the left at, Formal's KD, and like, that is silly. And then as soon as I glanced over towards the right, I was like, oh, God. It's like Zuma is just crushing. And earlier in the day, I casted the FaZe match against E United with Maven. We were talking a little bit about it. Don't know if that holds true now. Obviously, some games in between now and then. But FaZe had 3 of the top 5 uplink KDs with Zuma, Enable, and Attach.
And you remember just Zuma's first time on the main stage. That first uplink was like 37 kills, something ridiculous. He just came out firing. As we take a look at a rig draft, anything standing out to you, Matt?
Not too much. I mean, this has pretty much been the standard. You do see FTL on the side of FaZe Clan. That's really going to be the only difference, Centurion versus FTL jump. Do I think that is something that is a massive player in this game? No. I think those two, really, you're just looking at your camo and your reactive armor. Those are the 2 abilities you're going to see plays made with. Maybe we see something come through with Overdrive, but, usually an Overdrive player grabs the drone. You see him cut down pretty shortly after.
And talking about basic strategy here, what's the fastest route? Up the gut?
I mean, up the gut is always going to be the fastest route. It's not one you're going to be able to make happen, though. I mean, the chokes in the middle of the map by the train, so narrow. You see where that bowling area is. You can bring the drone through there, try and force your way for some 2-point scores. Usually don't see a lot of action over towards the top side of the map, over by Cyclone Barn. A lot of it going to happen mid-map and over by bike path. That
drone spawns right out in the middle of the train tracks. Who's going to get to it first? You're going to have to get through your opponents to grab that objective. It's Zuma on your screen looking for the fight from the window.
Just needs to hold this position. Drone control so important in uplink. It's going to be Crim and Karma in the kill feed first with some nice shots there by Zuma. Going to take out Crim, even this up. No drone control yet for either team.
Our observer, Brian Saint, has been on point, catching all the important kills. There's a big fight going on the left. He saw the start of Enables. Now Zuma answers. OpTic coming off the spawns. FaZe, they've only dropped 1 player, and now, though, with Karma taking out Clay, this drone push is going to be stopped. And, in fact, OpTic going for the quick pass. They're on a fast break here. Scump could go for the 2-point play.
Oh, and he barely does not make it around that wall. As you see Crim trying to follow this up with some kills. But, man, Scump is just an inch in front there, gets around that wall. He's able to get a 2-point play.
Formal is inside. FaZe's base will be taken down by Clayster. So with the house clean, now they can surge forward. Already, Zuma opening up 6-0, yet 0 points on the board here for FaZe Clan.
Well, what FaZe has been doing all tournament long is they've been letting Zuma just focus on pushing through all the way, trying to pick up some kills. He's on a 7 streak now. It's going to be a 1-point play for FaZe Clan, and you see Zuma working on these streaks. He finally falls, but when he's just putting so much pressure on your base, it's hard to go back towards that middle of the map and get the objective.
Yeah, and you clear out Zuma, and then all of a sudden, Attach is in your face. 3 straight kills. Attach keeping the pressure on OpTic Gaming. They're trapped in their spawn. Just everyone setting up for another interception because they know this drone is coming. Clayster and Enable clearing all 4 players. 2-point play should be incoming. It's Zuma with the dunk.
It has not been good for OpTic here at the beginning. Zuma has completely dominated this game with Enable. Enable has really come to life, and I feel like he's the one guy we don't talk a lot about on this FaZe roster. We talk about Clay with the great leadership, and Zuma and Attach, how good they are, up close, but Enable kind of gets lost. Very talented player. Scump here with a 1-point throw, not gonna connect. So that is a 1-point miss there for OpTic. They miss out on some points earlier, albeit it's not really their fault. Could have been 2 scores there for them.
And honestly, that last one felt like it was Scump's fault. Got to aim a little bit higher. Maybe that one goes in. Do you need an extra step or 2? Possibly, but for me, this should be a 3-1 game. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them later in the game. Karma picks up 2 before being chased down. Crimsix following Scump.
This is going to be points.
Scump is the lead blocker. He's got to pick up the kills. Got 1. Looking for a second. Crim is going to sneak in and reset, Matt.
Yeah, it's going to be a 1-point play for OpTic Gaming. It could have been potentially a 2. Obviously, they don't have the luxury of having the mini-map that we do, but doesn't matter. They get the control of the FaZe base.
Oh, no.
This will be a 2-point play there for Karma. He's able to put it through. They do have mid-map control yet again.
Yeah, look at the rally. Crimsix could have gone for the drone there and gone right to player number 2. That was Scump leading the way. Instead, they feel they need to get the kills. Tie game all of a sudden, and Crim, staying alive, is going to give himself a strong position. 3 down for FaZe once again. Scump looking for the spawners. You got support and Crim right behind you, and Formal is moving up the drone. Stronghold so far, though, and now Zuma feels he has to call in the score streaks.
Yeah, probably did not need to waste them there. He's going to be able to take out Formal. It kind of clears OpTic Gaming out of their side of the map, but you see how effective you can be from this side. When OpTic spawns the FaZe team up on the top side of the map, it's very difficult to rotate back towards the mid. You got to get control of your own base over by that statue and baseball. It's very difficult. You see how OpTic turned that into points.
Clayster moving up the drone, but it's FaZe in a 3-on-4 looking for the kills first. 2 players dropped, but it's Scump and Crimsix for OpTic Gaming answering right back. The drone tossed backwards, but it's not going to go outside the map. We're going to see, will FaZe be able to put it through? Not going to happen. Zuma stopped short by Formal. Reset goes in favor here of OpTic Gaming, and in fact, they're going to be pushing this one up towards the baseball field.
Yeah, they were trying to throw that for some yards. Maybe Zuma picks up a kill and then able to get a 1-point throw, but he's quickly taken out outside of Barn. And you see the drone down at the top side of the minimap. This is not where either team wants it. You see it's really in no man's land. Both teams fighting at range, trying to pick up some kills. The drone going to get reset. Nobody really wanted to pick it up in that situation.
Such a good series we have on our hands. 30 seconds away from halftime. It's all tied up 3 apiece. Both teams looking for at least 1 more point before we hit halftime. It's Zuma looking for the positioning. Knows 2 spawners are going to be coming his way. Deals with the first. Second player to his right. It's Zuma on the flank as you hear Clayster with the callouts. The slam coming down. Zuma's going to finish with the headshot on Crim. But there's still Karma playing defense.
This is the position Zuma got into when they scored points last. 4 seconds left. The drone in the middle of the map. Scump might be able to get off a 1-point throw here late. Nope, not able to get around the corner. So we're going to see a tie game going into the second half. I like this for FaZe, though, Chris. Obviously, we saw how OpTic Gaming spawned them on that top side, was able to put on some points. Zuma gets in that good position over in the back by Bowling, behind that statue. They can put a lot of points on the board.
If you're just joining us, no, this is not the grand finals. This is FaZe and OpTic Gaming playing for top 4. FaZe, they started off a perfect 4-0 in their groups, but fell to E United here on Championship Sunday. On the other side, OpTic Gaming, they struggled a little bit earlier last night against Envious, looking for redemption here in their losers bracket run. Off the gut, though, it's going to be 3 players here for FaZe picking up kills. Zuma's going to find a 4th OpTic member. FaZe with early control can Attach, hit the shot. No, it's too low.
It's a big 1-point miss there by Attach. You're able to put another point on the board. You get a lot of pressure. OpTic rotating into the back of their base. You probably get back to mid-map, get drone control yet again. Just kind of changes the whole dynamics of that game, that 1-point throw miss.
We saw the same thing from Scump on our first half. Karma and Formal clearing the way down the middle. It's going to be Formal set up behind the train. Karma pushing right down the front. And Zuma is there on defense, playing a very similar role to what we saw from OpTic Gaming in our first half. Formal not going to be able to make it happen, and honestly, I've been very impressed with the team spawning on the left side with the key kills. They're getting them, they're stopping the dunks from coming through.
Yeah, you see Attach up in this top window. He's just going to be looking over the drone here, just making sure OpTic Gaming can't just pick this up, run it straight down the mid. I got to say, Chris, Attach starting to play a little bit better. He was struggling at the beginning. Clay, 7 and 17 right now, needs to get it going. Really, Enable and Zuma keeping FaZe in this match.
Absolutely. Clayster is number 5 on your screen. He's carried the drone a bit. Here's a 1-point toss, and he's been practicing that one. Long range. Sinks another 1-point play. That is his second toss of the game. So while he's not getting the kills, he's able to get the objective. But Zuma, the way he's playing at 26 and 12, you would expect a much bigger lead here for the FaZe clan.
And I like Clay with the NV4 in his hands coming into this match. You know, he uses the NV4 and the K-Bar. With the K-Bar, he's got like a 0.92 KD. With the NV4 in his hands, a 1.02. So significantly better with the NV4. Slows his playstyle down a little bit. Able to get back a little bit to what we're used to seeing from Clay.
Shout out to our production team as well as our friends from Colorado doing the stats backstage. There's a 1-pointer from Scump. We're all tied up.
You got to remember, it's just the 1-point misses we've seen. 1 from Scump, 1 from Attach. But OpTic Gaming in control of mid-map right now. FaZe needs to stabilize, needs to get control of their base, and the drone is moving forward. It's going to be another 1-point throw attempt. That's going to be OpTic actually missing that one.
Formal setting up the spawn trap. Nice shots there. He has been lights out once he gets rolling, and here he is with the dunk opportunity. It's going through.
They miss a 1-point play. Formal is that good that he picks up all the kills, turns it into 2. Now OpTic Gaming with the lead here. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the second half. If you're FaZe, you need to focus on getting that mid-map control. See Zuma wrapping around, trying to get control of the OpTic base. Could pick up some big kills here. He's going to get 1.
I have to say the player I've been really impressed by here on OpTic Gaming. Clearly what you see from Farmal, but Karma, his stats don't show how big of an impact he has had. There's another perfect example, stopping the drone carrier just inches short of another toss. Enable here on the far left side knows OpTic is going to be moving up with the drone. He's going to rotate over. And when he does, he's going to see all kinds of action. Player called out in the window. Enable's going to try and sneak behind. Zuma already picking up the kills he's looking for.
Yeah, it's 2 kills in favor of FaZe, but it's going to be Karma and Scump on the defensive side of things. Picking up kills around the drone, locking it over here by Bowling. This is some big kills for FaZe. They're going to fall here as Attach going to have to back up. Has FTL jump. Don't really know when he's going to use it. See Krim going to fall here. Attach in a power position. Going to pick up another one. 2 big kills. Now the drone back in mid-map. Attach in a perfect position to stop this.
OpTic Gaming knew they lost control, and that is a big play just to throw that drone for yards. Formal trying to hunt down Clayster, who had the drone momentarily. Zuma's still alive. Finally going to be cut down. But we are down to our last 60 seconds, and it's FaZe Clan trailing. Attach used his FTL jump. Karma has a camo here. Objective in hand. He's going to be pushing up towards Lemon, but at this point, I don't know if OpTic's going for the score or just trying to keep the drone out of FaZe's hands.
Oh, I mean, with 3 kills and camo, you definitely go for the score. He's going to be camo pop by Karma, drone in hand.
He's hit, gets the toss, so now it's a 2-possession game.
Really smart play there. Did not need the 2. The 1-point play still makes it a 2-possession game. It's going to be very difficult for FaZe to get drone, get a 2, and then get back to mid-map and get another score.
And you can see the panic mode setting in. Enable feels he has to use his overdrive before even getting control of the drone. He sneaks by 2 players in the middle. The jammer's going to slow him down, and it's OpTic sealing the deal. 10 seconds left. OpTic Gaming is going to take the lead in our best of 5, 2-1.
Yeah, and Formal goes 31 and 19 during this map. He has been a man on a mission today, putting up crazy numbers in every single match I've seen. And it's kind of interesting, you know, we talk about how Krim and Scump, potentially one of those 2 guys are the leaders. Seems like Formal's just said, screw this, I'm going to lead this team by example. With the way we saw him, you know, shouting at the Panda guys, riling these dudes up. Seems like Formal stepped up into that leadership role.
Matthew Piper has come to play today. On the other side of the stage, though, he is going to have his hands full with Zuma all match long. Such an even battle we are seeing play out here on our main stage.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Enable and Azuma really brought it in that match, but they needed more from Attach a little bit earlier, and you needed more from Clay overall.
Hate to call him out like that, but honestly, numbers don't lie here as we see game number 3 going in OpTic's favor. Let's take a look back at some of the highlights here from Uplink.
And I know this is a very close game in the first half, obviously tied. And going into the second one, you actually thought that FaZe could potentially had an opportunity to pull away because you had Zuma coming around on that flank, sets up. They're just not able to get a ton of points out of it. But here in the first half, do see FaZe jumping out early, and OpTic makes a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah, it was 3-0. When you take a look back here, the dunk coming in from Karma tied it up, and OpTic really never slowed down. They traded 1-point plays. The kills going back and forth, but it was the key defenses that we saw. We saw so many times that the drone carrier was just stopped at the goal line. A few missed tosses, but this one sank in from Clayster, gave FaZe the lead once again. Scump answered right back, tied it up 4-4, but it was the final 2 minutes 30. This play from Formal, 3 kills, the dunk, and then the final shot coming in.
Well, I mean, that is a 1-point play that goes astray, and Formal just turns that into 2. I mean, there's not many players that are going to be able to jump in there, pick up 2 quick kills, and then make it a 2-point play. But you see, Zuma and Formal, the 2 guys we highlighted, 33 and 22 for Zuma, staying on point with that KD we showed earlier. Formal, he's just been silly good today.
He's like, oh, you got a 1.52, I got a 1.22. I'm going to catch up somehow. That game, a 1.63, just 19 deaths and 31 kills for OpTic Gaming. Very impressive stuff from both of the Slayers.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, OpTic Gaming, 1 game away from beating this FaZe Clan team, which has never happened before. When this OpTic roster has gone up against this FaZe Clan roster, FaZe undefeated.
5-0 is FaZe in this rivalry with the current lineups. We'll see, will they be able to make it 6? Currently, they're trailing by 1. We'll be right back after this. We are back live from Atlanta. This is the CWL Open, and OpTic Gaming is just 1 game away from securing a top 4 finish here in our 2nd major event in North America for IW.
And look, it's a huge win for them. A lot of people thought they would just kind of bow out after they lose to Envy, but they're trying to get all the way back to potentially another rematch with Envy, depending on what happens with Envy United.
OpTic has never beaten FaZe on LAN. Can they do it here today? We're about to find out. Possibly a Game 5. Another Game 5 could be in store for us. If you look at that last one, we were in for a treat there on Scorched.
I mean, it was Hector's birthday the other day. I don't think he wanted all these Game 5s coming here to Atlanta. It's got to be tough for, like, Green Wall fans at home, I imagine. Like, I saw Maniac. I think he's like, I'm losing it in my hotel room. I'm completely alone. I'm just like, all these Game 5s, you don't want to win like that. You want to win it a little bit easier than that.
Hector turned 37, but he must feel 45 today. We're stressing him out. Here we go, Matt. Game number 4. The rig draft will be kicking off any moment. We take a look at this next map, though, and it's going to be throwback for Hardpoint. We just saw this same map used for Uplink. How is it different when we go into Hardpoint, though?
Well, obviously, Hardpoint, a little bit of a different game mode. That first hill going to be where the Uplink drone was, right in that center track. So you're really worried about that second Hardpoint over by the barn. That's one you can get a ton of time on. Then all the way over on the other side of the map for hill number 4, over in that back baseball area. That's the 2 hills you can make a lot of time on.
We showed you some stats going into game number 3 where we compared Uplink scores between Formal and Zuma. Going into this one, though, I want to point out Attach. He's been hot. He's been not. He's been a star player, though, in every other match they've played. He and Formal led all players coming into this match in terms of respawn KD. I'm looking for the youngster to really make some moves here on throwback and force a search.
Yeah, I mean, Attach is going to need to play much better for FaZe Clan. He's been doing it all tournament long, with the kills and also doing a lot of the objective. Needed him to show up big here. And if you're FaZe, I mean, this is obviously do or die, but you got to look at this team, man, Chris. They were so good during Advanced Warfare. They won so many events towards the later half of the year. Nothing last year. They kind of lose a lot of confidence. What's like the last bit of confidence they can hold on to? It's against this OpTic gaming team. They are undefeated. That, they knew that if they can get back here and they were in the finals, they felt good about themselves going up here. A loss here hurts this FaZe team a lot.
FaZe made a similar run back at Vegas. It was eventually Cloud9 who stopped them to move on to the grand finals. Will FaZe be able to improve upon their 3rd place finish? Well, they got to get through OpTic Gaming first. Also, quick reminder, Infused is playing Luminosity on our Bravo stream. Feel free to check that out. And of course, coming up next on the main stage, it's the winners bracket finals. E-United will be taking on Envy, first spot in our Atlanta championship match. Let's take a look, though, at Formal off the break here. He has been a man on a mission all series long. First blood and second blood, though, going in favor of FaZe Clan, and it's Zuma leading the charge.
Yeah, so Formal's job there is trying to lock down the spawns for that second barn Hardpoint, and just like that, FaZe rolls through. They get control of the hill, and they get control of the spawns, spawning OpTic all the way across the map. Clay picks up 2 quick kills, put some nice shots there in Formal, not able to finish it. Clavar versus NV4, but ooh, those are not good shots there from Zuma as Scump. Just absolutely there from Zuma as Scump. Just absolutely turns and burns them. OpTic gets control of the hill. They do not have the spawns to the next Hardpoint, though.
Zuma used all of his good shots on that opening break. He was the man picking up 3 of the 4 kills. Karma, though, causing problems. Just took out their 2 Slayers, Attach and Zuma. Clayster is going to answer back on Crim 6. And now it's the peekaboo battle. Formal helping out Karma as OpTic continues to score. 5 points remain. It's going to be about 27 to 18 as this hill rotates.
So OpTic was so dominant in that first Hardpoint because you saw it was Formal, Crim, and Scump were all going at one time. Right now you got Crim starting out 0-3. I believe on the first night he started out 5-1, really playing well. Gonna need to get him going. OpTic has a lead now, but they will not be able to sustain this if they do not have everybody clicking on all cylinders.
And I love what we just saw from FaZe. If you are watching the mini-map, you saw players in all 4 corners of the barn. They all pushed in at the same time. Clayster and Attach getting some big kills. Zuma on a 2 streak on your screen, finds his 3rd. Now we'll be rotating around, but he's got nothing but Zuma cut out, and FaZe, even though they had total control, wiped out on OpTic's first push.
Yeah, FaZe gets there early. They are not able to hold. Now the next hill going over towards bike path. You think FaZe probably gives up on this, does not want to feed OpTic Gaming score streak, so they're going to set up towards that bottom side of the map, try and get control of bike path.
Thinking back to game number 1, the first time these 2 teams matched up in Hardpoint, it was 250 to 100. FaZe Clan was never able to hold their setups. OpTic Gaming able to take control and just get 91 points on a single hill after 2 rotations. We'll see if something similar happens, as already this game's starting to feel out of hand. 71 to now 35 and counting for FaZe. They've retaken the bike path. 40 points remain here. But OpTic, they have just been so good on their retakes.
And Zuma working towards more streaks. You're going to see him get a kill with the Scarab there inside of the hard point. It's going to be FaZe racking up a lot of this time. And if they can get this back within a 10-point game, potentially tie this up, they hold this spawn going into the baseball field, they're in a very good spot.
And this is a big contest coming in from Scump. That's 15 points that he stopped FaZe from getting. Zuma's going to jump up, find 2. And they will continue to score now 71-55 and counting.
It's smart play, maybe intentional or maybe not, but Attach actually lets Zuma get back into the hard point, and he picks up all his streaks from those points being juggled back and forth. So may not have been intentional, but just the way they kind of positioned themselves there gave Zuma those streaks.
And talk to me a little bit about those streaks. Trinity Rocket Bombardment, basically used by all players in this lobby. When do you want to calm down if you get them?
Oh, well, it's huge for the second rotation of Hills because you're able to just break bike path if you want, or if OpTic Gaming takes control of baseball here in the back, you're going to be able to break that with ease. You don't need a full rotation over there. Those are going to be huge later in the game.
Action continues here on our main stage. This is game number 4. FaZe has taken control, 84-74 here for OpTic Gaming, but it's OpTic set up in the baseball field. As I say it, your kill feed turns all red. Zuma finds Formal, the last man with his score streaks, a second one on Skunk.
That's a big streak to invest in for the last 20 seconds here. I think you probably could have held on to that. You probably trade these gunfights out and you're in the same exact position you are here. So we'll see if they use one of those streaks in the second half. They don't exactly get a full break. Obviously not going to have that luxury of having another one.
I think it's just a confident play from Zuma. He's already 17-8. He's on another 3 streak. He says, what, 1 round of streaks? I'm going to get 5 this map, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, you may have a point. With the way he's been playing all tournament long, he's been crushing. I think, you know, in his head, he expects to go on another long run, string a lot of kills together, pick up more, and you just see the shots that he puts on Formal there. Kills him so fast. Zuma's so accurate at range with the K-Bar.
And he has saved the biggest of his score streaks for later. That bombardment will be available a little bit later on. Bit easier to dodge at times, but Enable and Zuma getting all the work done with their guns. 20-9 now is Zuma, double positive. On the other side, Formal, that player to keep pace with him, 12-13. OpTic has all 4 players negative. They're getting outslayed. What a turnaround from FaZe in the last 3 minutes.
Well, I mean, the difference between game 1 and game 4 here is, you know, Formal's still there. Obviously, you know, not that positive like we saw in game 1, but you know, you have Crim not playing as well as he did in game 1, and same with Scump. Scump at 9-16 right now.
OpTic may be feeling a little bit of the pressure despite being on match point. They are not playing with the same amount of energy that we saw earlier. Attach, picking up Crim 6 is going to be causing problems, trying to get behind enemy lines. Meanwhile, the flank is coming in from Clayster.
This is good for OpTic Gaming, though, because they can take a ton of time on this hard point. You can't really use the streaks to break in, because obviously Barnes so close quartered. But Clay just walks in, takes out Scump. It's a nice shots here in the back on Karma, and I do not know how that happens. FaZe just walks right into the barn, takes it right from OpTic.
They were so worried about Attach, and then when Clayster got behind him, they ignored Attach, who picked up his second kill, and it was a full sweep. You have all 4 players up here for FaZe. OpTic Gaming is going to be sending 3 from the front. The flank is late here from Crim 6. Will OpTic be able to break, though? Yes, 3 straight kills. It's Formal inside scoring.
And now you're going to see the rotation going over towards bike path. Only 10 seconds left here. If you're OpTic Gaming, I think you got to get one of these guys to figure out how to get some streaks. You know, juggle the hard point back and forth, earn some points, pick up some kills. You can earn some streaks over by bike path. You can get those, use them on baseball, and you can probably split that time.
Patch going up top on the bridge. Finds 2 players. Grenade goes down. Knows where the 3rd is.
Right there, you saw all the kills going in OpTic Gaming's favor, but Attach doing a good job just contesting it for the time being. OpTic Gaming racking up score. They need to push these spawns out. It's a big kill there by Scump. Needs more teammates to just keep pushing straight through bike path. They need to get control of that back baseball area.
And what OpTic was able to do last time FaZe had control was send 1 man just to contest, to stop the scoring. Looks like FaZe this time around is just going to be able to break through. Karma trying to stay alive.
So that push all the way around by Enable has actually spawned OpTic out towards the right side of your minimap, and that's exactly where they want to be. So Enable trying to get a pinch, trying to get control of bike path there, ends up spawning OpTic all the way across the map. The big kill is going to happen on the top side where Clayster's coming from.
Big fight for Clay. His opponent has no idea where he is, and he still loses the fight. Scump using the cover, able to pick off Clay. and I hope that doesn't get into Clay's head. He's got to ignore that, just come back fresh, because OpTic now has control.
Oh, and you see 2 kills by Zuma with the streaks, but all of his teammates fall here, so they're going to get nothing with these streaks. OpTic still holds on to the spawn. Looks like another big kill has to come in from Clayster here as he's trying to wrap all the way around the back.
It looks like Clayster at times is just trying to do too much. He's flanking, but he's running into multiple opponents. Unable to win the gunfight. It's going to be Scump set up with 2 protectors behind him. Formal is going to fall. Crim6 ready to explode if anyone charges from baseball.
Yeah, now OpTic has nothing to worry about. No streaks can come in. You see Karma calling down his score streaks, trying to protect his teammates, but FaZe gets a break. Every time you think OpTic gets control of the hard point, things are going their way. FaZe answers right back.
What a back and forth game. It's about to be tied up 167 to 167. FaZe with the last 5 points here. Formal with the 2-piece though. And he's looking for the 3rd.
He's going to just do a nice job dodging some shots there, not able to take out Attach, but we go back to the center hard point. The 2 things to focus on, if players can earn streaks, payload abilities will be coming up here shortly for a lot of these players, so we'll see how the active camos get used on both sides and reactive armors and score streaks. If somebody can earn score streaks before we head over towards that baseball yet again, I feel like that team is going to be heavily favored.
Keep your eyes on Karma in the late game. I don't expect him to pop this camo. He's going to save it for later. On the other side, Clayster going to try and answer back. Enable on your screen, working towards the Centurion. That could be huge in the barn, and that'll be coming up here shortly. 20 points that remain in the middle of the map, and OpTic Gaming seems to just be giving this up.
Yeah, FaZe has actually, flipped these spawns. They're going to get that top side of the map, and they're trying to push players out to that furthest cut, get control. They need to get further back towards that left-hand side. This is going to be a big play. Enable needs to come up with a kill or 2 here.
Enable has the Scarab available as well. And it looks like a counter scare may be coming out. Player prone behind this box, and he is going to find 2. Nice team shot coming in from OpTic. They keep scoring here in the barn. It's OpTic set up first. All the way across the map is FaZe, but now they have all 4 players pushing in at the same time. Is FaZe going to be able to break once again? Clayster leads the charge with his camo.
He's going to be tagged up a little bit. I love the patience here from Clayster. Does not get any teammate support coming in. It's going to be Enable taking out Karma with a big 2-piece, working towards more streaks, 50 points off of a Scarab. He has the camo for himself, so we'll see when Karma decides to use that, as this game is so close. Pops the camo, picks up 1, tries to turn, picks up another. Big play there from Karma.
For the 4th time this game, OpTic retakes the lead, 207 to 204. 5 spree here from Karma. He's reached the 30 mark. Zuma slowing down a bit. He was 30 and 20. Now he is 33 and 25, getting outslayed twice in some big battles in that last hill.
It's going to be very difficult for FaZe to come back. It's going to be Karma with streaks. Going into baseball, you do have overdrive for Formal, so if they do spawn out, he can use that, get across that field to the top side of the minimap. It's going to be FaZe getting control of bike path. If you're OpTic Gaming, you need to keep this close. Don't burn all your streaks here.
Streaks coming in from Karma. He takes out just Clayster, missing a 2nd player. Meanwhile, FaZe continues to score down low. So the score streaks really not that effective yet for OpTic. The guns, well, Crim6 picks up Enable, but Karma took out Scump with that barrage, and it's going to be Karma having to get it done. Attach on the other side of the bridge. Heavily contested is the bike path. OpTic Gaming swarming all over the players. Attach and Enable, fending them off. And FaZe Clan somehow wins the fight.
So this is actually huge. Karma uses both of his streaks there, only has the Scarab available. If FaZe wins this rotation battle over to bike path, it's game over. OpTic not going to be able to break that with streaks. And you see Clay picks up that big rotational kill on Formal. This is FaZe's game for the taking.
Zuma taking out Karma in transition. Enable picking up 2. Formal trying to get the job done. Last man up. Won't be able to. There is a player inside scoring. Attach. Trying to find him. 2 players around the corner. Finds the first, gets the assist. It's going to be Scump and Formal pushing forward here for OpTic Gaming. Zuma in the back line.
You got to wonder why both those streaks were used there. OpTic fighting back from a disadvantaged position. You see Karma pushing forward with Formal. Has a Centurion to use. Maybe you drop it here. A lot of time left for the taking here on baseball. Karma with some nice shots, taking out Attach. OpTic Gaming climbing right back into it.
They don't need score streaks, Matt. The team shot is getting the job done. OpTic Gaming 5 points away.
It's going to be Crim putting in some nice shots, and that's going to be it.
OpTic Gaming taking out FaZe Clan will advance to your Final 4.
They finally get over the hump. We talked about it. This FaZe Clan team undefeated against this OpTic roster when these two teams have formed. This is the first time they are able to take them down. A lot of momentum for the OpTic guys going through the rest of the tournament.
What a series. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for both teams. That was one of the